Okay, to remove the rocker arms right here, so I'm taking the caps off the valves. I've loosened them up, and I believe I just take this nut off here. Same on the other side. Okay, gonna get the rocker arms off now. So you take the cap off right here, loosen these up. Okay, take the nut off. I did anyway. Then loosen these up so you get some play. Now in here, that's where the pin is that holds the rocker arm. To get that off, you take that dowel pin that you had for the holding on to the guide for the cam chain. You take it, and you thread it in here, pull out the pin, rocker arm comes off. So, not too sure if they're both the same, if it makes a difference, but I took a picture of them to show, so I remember which side they go. Okay, so I got the rocker arms off. This is what it looks like inside without them. You can see here the valves, the cam right here. I've kind of partially taken it out here. I'm going to take it out in a second. And this is what the rocker arms look like. So this one here is facing this way, and it's got a number 1 on it. So I took a picture of it, and this one is this way. On the other side, it's got a number 4. So, and it goes this way. The number 4 faces the other side. Okay, you got the cam out. The lobes look good. No flat spots that I can see. So I'm not going to get a new one. I don't think this bike had a lot of mileage. So it looks really good. No rusting. A little bit of pitting right here. But I've seen videos of other ones and it seems to be kind of normal. I don't know. And so I'll put it aside. And the rocker arms, I've labeled them. Like this is for the left side and this is the side that faces me. So when I put it in here, same with the other side, because I'm not too sure. I got a bad memory. Don't want to forget which way it goes where. So anyway, now I got to take these valves out. So there's keepers in there, right there. They're like half moon shaped things. So you got to press this down, the spring down. The springs are right here. So you got to compress the springs, take the keepers out, and you can take the spring out. And there's valve seals. There's seals in there. So and I want to replace those. I'm not going to replace the valves, but I want to replace the seals. So this is my next step. We'll see how it works out. Okay, I got the valves out. As you can tell, they're not in there anymore. Here's one of them right here. The valves, pretty carboned up on top. I cleaned it out. I'm going to let this thing, all this stuff soak in a Varsol just to loosen up all this carbon. Here's the springs. Right here you have an inner spring and an outer spring. So and I've got the specs for it to measure with calipers. So I'm going to see how that comes out. And these two little things right here. I've got one and I've got two. Like a half moon shape. They like the keepers. That's how they keeps the spring together. So I was able to use 2 screwdrivers and press down on top right here. And I was able to get these off by using a magnet. So it worked out. Putting them back on though, I don't know how that's going to go. Okay, the next stage now is to get this case off right here. Now these are probably going to give me a hard time. I've been spraying them with some release all. Hopefully that works. We'll see. I've noticed that the kickstart shaft is crooked a bit. Not too sure if that's my eyes playing tricks on me or it is crooked. Yeah, it looks crooked to me. So that might be something else I might need to replace. But we'll see. My concern will be is that whether or not that seal, oil seal, works. I gotta replace them, but anyway, the build goes on. Okay, so I've loosened up all the bolts or screws here. They're all loosened up. So next step is to split this case and see what we got in there. Hopefully it comes off easy. How about? Okay, so I got the on the clutch side, I've got all the bolts loosened up. They're all loose. Had a hard time. It took me a while to get these. They were really in there. I don't think this engine's ever been opened. So now it's just a matter of taking this off. And I took this one off too for the clutch adjustment, I believe. So now it's just a matter of splitting this case open. Okay, I got the cover off. So my clutch. And that's main gear, I guess. And that is my kickstart, which I'm gonna have to replace. I'm not too sure how easy it's gonna be. An old gasket. So everything looks nice in here. I don't see anything unusual, but then again, I'm not too sure. There's springs in there, and oh, guess this goes like this. Anyway, I don't want to move too much around. I have to put this thing back together. Oh, and here's that screen that I've been hearing about, right here, for the oil. There you go. It's actually not too bad. It's pretty clean. I don't know. Looks good so far. Okay, this is a part that's very unknown to me. Look at the book. There's not much information on how to take the clutch off. So I know this comes off. Pretty simple. Goes only on, looks like this way only. Then I know this comes off. This goes here. Comes off. And then this, well, I thought it came off, but doesn't seem to want to. I'm not too sure. There's a spring right here. Looks like it fits on top. Not too sure what holds it there in place. Okay, figure it out. You just pull it out hard. There's a bearing. That's a bearing right there. So there you go. I'm not too sure what to do with the rest. Okay, so the case is split. I didn't show that video just because, well, it's not that hard. All you gotta do is undo these screws right here. Here's the other half of the case. All the screws around, and you just pry it out. I pried the seals out because I'm gonna replace all the seals. Now, the one thing I did have a hard time with is this. As you can tell, that's the shifter shaft. It's bent. So I'm going to try to straighten it out. But to do that, I need to take it out. And to take it out, I need to get the clutch out, which I'm having difficulties with right now because of these. I got to take this plate off, these 3 screws, to get to the bolt that's in here. And these 3 screws ain't coming off. And they're tending to strip right now, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to do this. Also, here's the kickstart lever right here. As I said before, they cut it and welded the shifter lever on it. So I'm going to have to replace this also. It doesn't look too hard to take off. Looks like just a clip here, and I should be able to pull it right out. Okay, so I got the case completely split, as you can tell. There you go. I've ordered a new kickstart shaft because this one's been cut, so I got a new one coming. This is my shifter shaft. It's got a bit of a bend into it. I've straightened it out as much as I can. So what I'm going to try next now is, a buddy of mine's got torches and whatnot, so I'm going to go over and heat it up and then straighten it out more. If that doesn't work, I'll order another one. And finally got my clutch basket off. I had to drill out those little bolts right here, screws. Anybody doing these are going to be a pain. There's 3 of them, and they will strip. They're the Phillips head. My suggestion is, if they don't strip, they come out, replace them. You can get the Allen head ones, and way better. That's my clutch basket. It all came apart. The spring or whatever it is that holds it together all came out, so I'm going to have to figure out how to put that back together. I'll just look at the manual. Here's my my crank. The bearings are really good, and the piston's good. Rings had, like I said before, had really good compression, so I'm not going to put new rings. I checked all the gears. Here's all the gears right here. There's not a single notch on these suckers. They're really good. The bearing on this shaft, that's the part where the sprocket hooks up to. The bearing's really good. And this is my shift. I don't know what they call these, but anyway, that's for shifting. And it's in really good shape. A little dirty, gotta clean it up. The gears, like I said, there's not a nick or nothing on them. So I got a feeling this bike wasn't used much, even though it's the older of the two. This one's a 1974. The other one's a 77. But this one here so far is in great condition, other than just not being cleaned up and whatnot. It, you know, good compression. A few things wrong with it. Like I said, the kick shaft and the shifter shaft. So had to split the case. So I may as well put all new oil seals and gasket. So that way I don't have to touch this thing again. And you know, being a 74, hey, you never know. This thing might last another 40 years. Who knows, right?